Hi guys. So today I'm going to talk about job numbers and the numbers. What I'm relating to is the ones that we are given by the government, which are our workforce unemployment numbers. They are always incorrect. Um, the most recent numbers that have been revealed for the last year have been not extremely. Uh, it's saying that we are doing good. Our unemployment is at a low rate, which is not correct. Now, let me tell you how this works. So, there is people now in place where they are working in the government and they are adjusting these numbers to make it look better than what the numbers should be reflecting. Why is this important? Because as you sit unemployed, as your family members, friends are unemployed, these numbers are critical as to why you're in the position or they are in the position that they're in with no job. And I want you to be at peace, knowing that because of that, it's a lot harder for people who have been laid off, like myself recently. And, if we're finding it harder to find a job, even if you are experienced, have an education, even if you're open to, pivoting to a new market or role, you're still finding it hard to get a job. Why is that? Because the government is making it seem that there's a lot of companies that are open, uh, are hiring, right? Are hiring as well. Um, uh, like, for example, 10 years ago, right? Which is wrong because ever since before COVID, right? And slightly before COVID happened, we were already heading into an economic crisis, right? So the government is simply averting certain things from us to be aware of or the public to be aware of. But because I work in talent acquisition, I understand the nuances that maybe you guys don't understand, right? And it does sound a little bit more hyperbolic, right? But honestly, the numbers don't lie, like they say. I don't know if you heard that, but numbers don't lie, okay? If someone is reflecting, inflating the numbers, that like it's happening right now, that is completely ridiculous. It is completely false. Um, why do we put people in government to lie to us? I don't know why, but that shouldn't be happening. That's probably why we're not fighting the things we need to fight about, which is making sure we hold companies liable, accountable for them not letting employees go as soon as they're hired, or that have been working there for a while and do perform, right? What is the reason that you're letting this person go, right? We're not holding companies accountable because we're not holding our government accountable. So it's kind of like redundant, right? Why are we stressing? Because I'm feeling the stress. So I know you guys are feeling the stress. Why are we feeling the stress? Because our government is wanting to lie to us that the picture is perfect. And all of y'all know this. I don't think you even need to work in talent acquisition and HR to even know, you know, it's the mathing. It's basic math. You guys probably already know that. Okay, but you guys have been trying to probably say, no, I don't think so, we're doing good. You're trying to be optimistic, and that is good to be optimistic, but we all have to be optimistic, right? I am being optimistic in this world where we are thrown in this workforce that we're being lied to, right? And we're being hired by companies, and the companies are saying that they're gonna, we can stay with them long term, and if we give them our full potential, we perform to our fullest, right? And you do that, and then you still get let go. You're still a name on a spreadsheet at the end of the day. And to be honest with you guys, I want to help you guys to have some peace. This video, this message is not for me to make you feel like the world is collapsing on us. It's not for that. It's not my point. My point is to let you know that you have to know the truth and accept the truth before you can move forward, right? So what that means to you is, now that you understand fully where we're at and what to do, where to go from there, now you can make better decisions tomorrow. Okay, maybe I need to take this job. Maybe I need to do this to pay my bills, right? Maybe I need to pull back on this or pull back on that. So you guys are a little bit more understanding. Do I believe that we would get back to where jobs were strong, right? The companies were faithful, were committed to the employees. Honestly, the companies haven't been committed to employees since probably my great grandpa was alive, right? My grandpa was alive. My grandpa, he would be probably in his 80s now, but my grandma too. The companies were a little bit more committed, right? And why do I say that? Because I tell you a story about my mom where she got let go from a company that she worked there for 20 plus years. And I mentioned probably my mom in a different topic, where she worked as a cleaning person at a prestigious hotel. I won't say the name. And remember, I will never say the company's name or anyone's name, right? For that fact, but I'll just tell you the details without giving you the full insights. But she worked there, and guess what happened? She was laid off. Not laid off, sorry, she was let go because of a misunderstanding with the manager. And my mom tried to talk to HR several times about this, to bring it up to their attention, and they ignored the issue more than once, right? Twice, 3 times, several times. But sometimes I do understand that employees feel like they can't go to HR. Trust me, I myself never felt like I could go to HR. When I was even a teenager, I never felt like I could, and I never wanted to, because that you are at a very young age. I knew right away, by me going to HR, I was going to open Pandora's box, which I was completely right, because they stamp you with the stamp of, oh, he's being a whiner, right? So I don't like that, right? If things are not going out of hand, where, okay, you know what, I can deal with these toxic employees, toxic supervisors, toxic co-workers, it's better for you just to continue doing your best. Okay, there's been times where I've had HR reach out to me and ask me, hey, did this happen, did that happen? But they did that on their own. I never went myself to them. Did my coworkers go and say, hey, this happened to this individual working with me? As far as me, yes, I've had that happen. Okay, and I'm glad and grateful for those coworkers that I've had, my good friends and coworkers that fought for me, right? Because I wasn't gonna go call HR and just complain about something. But what I'm telling you is that it happens to me. No one is immune to this. You gotta understand that. You gotta do what's best for you and your family. And the message right now, it is July 2nd, 2025, and our political situation, our, you know, economic crisis that we're in right now, fully in, right? The numbers are not matching, okay? The numbers are not making sense, okay? There's too many people unemployed. There's too many people. I know people that are very hardworking and professionals, and they're having to go deliver food. They are going to have to Uber, okay? That's just not fair. That's not right. You know, where are these jobs? Where are these companies that are applying? Because there seem to be the same jobs reposted and reposted. And guess what? Those jobs are the ones that are being reposted and recycled. Those are counted as new jobs every single time that they repost the same particular role. That is one of the things that I can just tell you right now, right off the bat. But I wanted to get on here to just, I didn't want to show you the statistics. You can go online and look at the numbers and look at videos. And like I said, before I come to talk to y'all, I don't necessarily just come and tell you what I know. Is what I'm learning, what I'm, you know, doing my research on. Am I going to show you a paper? I don't want to show you a paper right now, because for what? I mean, you know the truth. I don't need to tell you anything that you already know. I'm just coming on here to remind you, hang in there. Continue to push forward. And I'm here to help. I've always been a person, always is what my character is, as far as to push others, to motivate them. You know, it's gonna be okay, hand holding, whatever it may be. But I'm gonna push you more than hand hold you. So hang in there. Hug your family, hug your friends, because you're gonna have to do things probably that you've never done before. I understand that, but do know that things will change. But when will things change? Look at the riots, for example, that are happening in Los Angeles. What is going on over there? There's changes happening, even though you don't see them, okay? We have to step out and talk. We can no longer stay quiet. We can no longer, these are actually changes that will happen, right? If we start to vocalize about our experiences, okay? It's hard for me to tell you about my experience. It's hard for me to get on here on YouTube, okay? It's hard for me. And I'm blinking, my eyes are constantly blinking because it's my nervousness. But I'm not gonna stop, you know, trying to post my videos to reach out one individual that is struggling. If I can just reach one person and save their life, that's all that I need. And also, please subscribe, and please send this video to whoever might need it. This is more of a inspirational, motivational video to, you know, keep you going, keep you fighting. And I know you're tired. I know you're tired. And trust me, you know, you're tired of being tired. You go to vacation, you come back from vacation, and you know, it's like you can't even have a vacation while you're on vacation, right? So just hang in there, okay? I know things might not seem like they're heading in the right direction right now, but trust me, before we can experience good times, we have to experience bad times, right? So right now we're kind of getting through this struggle of our bad times, but then later on we will seek the rewards. Remind your family, remind your friends that continue to apply to that company, continue to be optimistic, because they might get a call from that company. They might get that call, but you have to stay vigilant as to where you're applying. How many times have you applied? You know, and you have to do something different. You might need to have to change your career or whatever it may be, right? I don't want to change my career, but You know, it's something that I have to probably think about, because how else will we survive? So please, hang in there, stay strong, guys. I know it's hard for me to say that, um, but trust me, you guys are not the only ones struggling out and struggling. You know, I am going through a lot of too, but I want you guys to know that these numbers are not real, and it's not sad, to know that if we're in this situation, in America, right? Because we're supposed to have a strong economy. Now we're possibly going to war. We're possibly doing this. We're possibly going to. So much going on. So many fires to put out. But you need to make the right decisions for your family moving forward, as far as, you know, who what company you choose to go with. Sometimes we have to take a company, right? Because we need to work. Sometimes we don't have a choice, right? Nothing is perfect, but understand that you cannot give up on yourself. Understand that you have to continue to persevere, push forward, have tenacity. All right, guys. Y'all take care. Bye.